Hey Pisces, Jackie here. I'm bringing you an extra reading. I was called to do an extra reading for you guys on Easter Sunday, and I couldn't really figure it out, but I'm more than halfway through the readings, and I figured out at this point that just because of all the messages I'm getting, that this definitely has something to do with Jupiter being retrograde in everybody's various houses, and just feeling like just the general collective needs some extra messages right now. I'm getting, yeah, we have a lot of wonky stuff going on in the sky that we've never seen collectively in our life before. So it's a new place for all of us, and we're just all trying to get through it, right? But I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, you guys have Jupiter retrograde in your 10th house of social status and friend circles, but this really does have anything to do with any sort of relationship that you guys have, you know, in the social sector. So this could be colleagues, it could be regular friends, it could even be your intimate relationships can even fall within this category. But it's more about like how you do relationships, you know, how you are in relationships. So let's see what we get. I'm just noticing in the oracle, so you got the tribe card, which is incredibly appropriate considering the house that Jupiter is going to be in for you. And the transit, you know, it started already, and it's going to be going on, you know, now for the next like month or so, but the results of it are going to be unfolding throughout the course of the next year, for those of you who are interested in the time. Okay, so let's see what we have. I've got the steampunk the steampunk tarot and the wisdom of the oracle is what I pulled for you guys. Remember, these messages are general, Pisces, so take what resonates, right, throughout the rest. So you guys got tribe. Honestly, I can't think of a more perfect card for you guys considering the purpose of this reading. So yeah, you just, okay. So on the most basic level, okay, having to do with your social status, friends, and this card, the tribe, feeling that we belong is a very important thing to people. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know that we're useful in some way to the people in our lives. Feeling that we matter, you know, is a part of living a fulfilled life. So Jupiter being retrograde in this house is going to be asking you to look at your social life and every component within it. It's going to be asking you to look at to what extent you let people in and to what extent do you push people away. So this includes everything that would make up your social life. As I said before, you know, friends, colleagues, even that element in your personal relationship that has to do with connection. You know, are those of you in relationships, you know, you should be thinking about the essential qualities that you share with another right now, and those qualities that maybe you don't share. You know, there are times when you follow and the other person leads, and there are times when you lead and the other one follows. But this energy is indicating the importance of learning that proper dance between you and someone else. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws and no one is perfect is all part of that dance. It's all part of that understanding. So you're also being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat in your relationships. You're in a perfect place right now to make these changes, I'm getting. Yeah, in order to experience the best version of who you can be, and who you can be as a friend, and who you can best be together in this relationship for those of you who are partnered. So really looking at that. But regardless of if you're in a relationship or not, this is a time to be aware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. You know, asking, how do you dim your light or maybe change yourself so that others will accept you in their life? Do you hide who you really are in order to play well, so to speak, you know, in the larger collective? You know, that'll never fill you up. Trying to present yourself as, you know, as different, with a different face in relationships will never work out in the long run. And there's also something that you should not accept from other people. So now's the time to access your willingness, to be real, to be you, to be authentic. Don't be so afraid of yourself. It's because sometimes Pisces are, some Pisces are the archetype of Pisces. Obviously, all of you are very different because you're more than just whatever Pisces component is in your birth chart. If it's your sun, you're also dealing with the inflection of your rising, your moon, your Venus, but the Pisces archetype, it's very common to find them hiding behind a certain persona, and it's not out of malice. A lot of times it's just because you're such a deep sign, and you're so deep in your emotions, a very profound water sign, very deep in your intuition. You live very deep in the fantasy component of your mind, that sometimes you do it just because you feel so insanely misunderstood, and it's easier to do that. And that doesn't make anybody a bad person. It's part of what you deal with. But this energy is asking you to really look at that and embrace your individuality and embrace who you are and really step into that right now. Just that genuine sense of yourself. You're going to feel very empowered right now. And it's going to work on really expanding the circle that you have in your life in every way. I'm getting kind of like in a global way. So yeah, okay, so that's your crowning energy, okay? So going into the reading itself now, we're going to start with the Seven of Swords reverse. So this is telling me that you're feeling out of sync in some way with the people in your life right now. I could say society, but I don't even feel like it's that big. It's within your circle, your people. You're feeling like you're being judged right now, or at least that you're just not lining up with the people in your life right now. You're at a point in your life where you really feel ready to assert your uniqueness, and this is making you feel very separated from whatever group you're in, or tribe, or person, maybe who you're just in a relationship with. It's going to apply a little differently to all of you, but for all of you, I'm getting that being an individual and being true to yourself is very important to you. That's always important to Pisces, but particularly right now, it's part of your spiritual journey. But you need to consider your motivations. What are your motivations as you work so hard to maintain your individuality, Pisces? And you need to ask if it's serving your greater good. Because in the upright position, this card typically represents someone else taking something from you. But I'm getting in this position that it's you that's taking away something from yourself. An opportunity, a relationship that could serve your higher good, all in an attempt to protect yourself. You feel a very strong need to protect yourself, I'm getting right now. So, swords are words, right? And words are truth. I'm getting that you're creating your own truth and you're distancing yourself from others in your life right now. But again, you need to ask yourself, how based in reality are your thoughts right now? Or are those thoughts being driven by some type of insecurity, fear of abandonment, fear of intimacy? Are you feeling the need to pull away from someone or something before you get hurt based on past experiences? And these are questions that I'm getting you need to ask yourself right now. And then you have the Sun reversed. The Sun is a super positive card even when it's reversed. It's clarity that brings joy, and this indicates wisdom and it's the conscious understanding, Yeah, just knowing that I was going to say, okay, this is saying that we all understand that things can happen that are either good or bad, and that knowledge can make us either happy or unhappy or some other emotion, right? And that there's a reason why we say the truth hurts, or if you don't want to know, don't ask, but this knowledge from this card, even in the reverse, means whatever information you're getting right now, Pisces, is really meant to be happy and joyful, like the kind that feeds your soul. And what does that really mean anyway? It's that everything in the universe is lining up perfectly as you experience a sense of clarity in something. It means the energy is supporting you very strongly right now. You're connected in a million different ways to the universe, and it should feel amazing. You know, this feeling of connectedness and interconnectedness that you should be feeling very strongly right now. But the fact that it's reverse is telling me that you're questioning this. You know? Yeah, that you're being surrounded by this beautiful energy, but because of past hurts and past experiences, I'm getting that you're having a really hard time trusting this now. You know, trusting the good. You were in a place where just feeling the need to protect yourself. But the thing you need to understand is this, that the Sun is the most positive card in the deck. And even reversed, it inflects positive energy on the entire reading because it's a major arcana, so it's a long-lasting energy. So, I mean, this is asking you to just be really honest with yourself right now, Pisces, and check if you're not being overly protective of yourself based on echoes of past experiences more than what's actually being presented to you right now in reality. You know, the past is the past for a reason, and I'm getting that you're just being blanketed with positivity right now, but on some level you're rejecting it for some reason, I'm getting. So maybe we'll find out. Okay, so then we have the Knight of Cups reverse. So, all right, let's talk about this because I just want to go into this. Any of the court cards, the Knight and the Page, court cards can be either you or your partner or someone else in your life, but it's somebody within your close energy field. So keep that in mind as we're talking about this. But even reversed, this Knight of Cups is the most romantic of all the knights. Okay, and it's a female in this card in the Steampunk Tarot. But gender doesn't matter, you guys know that. But the most romantic of all the knights, yet she lacks the drive that the other knights have. You know, typically very chivalrous and romantic. She claims to love deeply and eternally, and she honestly believes that she does, but she doesn't. This is someone who's actually in love with love. You know, that kind of poetic kind of love that she has in her head. That's her ideal. And she follows that idea, you know, wherever it leads her. Since the feelings here of this individual can be blown by the winds of trends and interests, and it's impossible for her to be constant in anything having to do with love. She lives in a dream world, and if she's miserable, she knows that that's just part of her journey, you know, part of her romantic journey, like the Shakespearean tragedy kind of thing. Or when she's happy, nothing in the world can take her down. So although she lacks the commitment that other knights have, the depth of her devotion while engaged is incredible. You know, while the other knights will move heaven and earth if you need anything, the Knight of Cups will give you what you need if she's in love with you at the right moment. Right? She'd give it to you, she'd stroke you, she'd write a poem about it, and die the happiest creature in the world, knowing that the most important part of her, which is her heart, would live on, you know, in some way. But look, in the end, this is someone who loses interest very quickly. But this is the thing with this energy, though, is that it's very enticing, because when a Knight of Cups is showing you love, it's that kind of love that most people dream about. And they are typically so incredibly convincing. But the reverse, this represents that other person feeling very disappointed in the reality of this person. So that some offer that at first glance appeared perfect doesn't end up materializing, leaving that other person feeling very confused and pushed out. Yeah, because this person's very, very untrustworthy, not reliable, more hooked more on the chase, you know, as we're saying, like this romantic, the sexual ideal, but has no real intention of going beyond that honeymoon phase of the relationship. So, you know, this is somebody who's looking for a new thrill that can probably be found somewhere else once they get bored, just to continue this cycle of manipulation. But for sure, this is someone who has very deep intimacy and commitment issues, who is very inconsistent and unpredictable in their behavior, but who really practices a lot of deflection. You know, that deflection that happens in relationships sometimes with certain people, where they deflect all the problems back onto you. This is someone who just doesn't take ownership of what they do. And Pisces, again, all of this said, as I said in the beginning, because it's a court card, this can be you as this person, or it can be someone else. So this can be you and your partner ends up in that state of disappointment. Or this can be someone you're dealing with and you're ending up in that state of disappointment. Or, as with all court cards, it can certainly be both of you swimming in that mess. But this is really asking you, you know, really look at yourself. If this is you who feels more in love with the idea of love and more into the idea of chase and the newness and that, you know, that enticing element of relationship, this is asking you to really look at yourself and look at the motivations behind that, because that's an element in how you do relationships. A lot of people are even like that in friendships too, where once people start to get a little too close and expecting a little too much, even in friendships, they pull away. So if that's how you are in relationships, you really want to look at that. You know, and then we have another page card right next to it, which is the Page of Wands reverse. Again, we get a lot of reversals here, but that doesn't really matter. Reversals just explain situations. But this is telling me that either you, again, or someone else, because it's a court card, that someone else that you're dealing with is just no longer willing to fight for something. It's just no, so, you know, maybe this energy has come to the surface and into reality, and this is the other person. Obviously, it can be vice versa, right? But just no longer willing to fight for something. And if this is you, Pisces, I'm getting that you're just ready to give up on something. But either you or this other person is being very stubborn right now and isn't able to listen to anyone else's opinions except their own. So this energy also indicates a real fickle pickle who just doesn't follow through with what they initiate. You know, there's a feeling here that this person tends to feel very enthusiastic about things, you know, early on, and, you know, very obsessed about something, but burns out pretty easily. Again, this is another indication of getting easily bored or distracted and just leaving the situation. You know, but there's an inability to move forward for you, you know. Yeah, but this lack of desire to move forward, but I'm getting that it's really based more on a lack of confidence about the situation. There's like a feeling of not feeling safe in continuing this situation for either you or your partner. Yeah. This feeling of either lack of confidence, lack of safety, but there's definitely a lack of will. That's for sure happening here. Yeah. Okay. And then we have the Six of Wands energy. So I like that the Six of Wands energy is connected to the Sun. These are probably the two most positive cards that I'm getting here for sure. But, you know, this is Jupiter and Leo card, and there's an attitude of harmony and accomplishment here, you know. Six also has the meaning of the past, creating the present and the future. So this does indicate efforts being rewarded, you know, for something that you've done. If you've been struggling recently, if you have been, with feeling unsure about your hard work paying off. This energy is saying that it is. Okay, so in relation to work or career or maybe some sort of project that you are involved in, this can definitely indicate a promotion of some kind or things going in your favor in this way. And this really says that it's time to celebrate regardless of how busy you may be at this time, because I am feeling a lot of you Pisces may be very busy with different things right now. And for those of you who are in personal relationships, this energy does indicate feelings being declared and expressed and being well received. So that's good, because I'm feeling like out of all of this, this is the only feeling I'm getting, or space where I'm getting that communication is happening. But I'm definitely getting that some good news is coming in, especially with this sun connection. So even though you're dealing with all this other stuff, like under the surface, you do have really good things happening in your life, if that makes sense. And it could have to do with any aspect of your life. It could have to do with love. It could have to do with property. It could have to do with education or work, or even just basic decision making. You know, making some good decisions right now. I'm getting there's some good news on the way, Pisces, and it's going to feel very welcomed for you in all of this, okay? You have more than obviously one thing going on in one area in your life. So I'm getting just this overall positive energy in your life, this overall positive vibe of moving forward, things going well in your career, and you know, those of you who have like investment properties, I feel like things are going to be going well in that area. Okay. And then we have 3 of Wands reversed. So although the 6 of Wands brings this positive energy, this does indicate some communication problems. So awesome. Now that I just said that you guys were doing some positive communicating here. This does indicate some communication problems, but I do have to say, listen, this is a minor arcana, so I'm really not worried about it. I'm getting more, the energy from this is telling me more that there are just going to be some delays in plans that make it difficult for you to progress forward right now. And you just might feel that you're having a hard time expressing yourself in a certain way, or you're having a really hard time understanding where other people are coming from. Not that you don't understand what they're saying to you, but you don't understand their logic right now. So this is making you feel very temporarily isolated. But I'm not worried about this. This is just saying, slow down a minute, pull back. This is temporary. This is going to pass really quickly. But it is going to be something where it's worth noting, because it's something that you're going to be feeling. Yeah. Okay, and then we have the Page of Pentacles energy. So while this energy does indicate progress and auspicious beginnings, there's an element of caution here. So there's a real need for attention to details now and for diligence in all practical matters right now. So just be sure to double check all of your arrangements, any agreements you might be a part of right now, and things you need to just get done in life right now. This is not the time to procrastinate important matters. Don't put anything off. This is not, the energy is not supporting that. Yeah, and you know, on the most basic level, this can mean new opportunities to make money. But Pentacles also does represent health. So many of you may be starting a new way of approaching your health. This can be physical or it can be mental and emotional. So, you know, meaning this energy supports you taking on a new way of looking at your life, a new way of being who you are in relationship. This can be you working on creating right now, actively creating the most authentic version of yourself that you can possibly be. You know, going back to that tribe card. But I do want to note that we have these 2 pages together. And whenever you have 2 pages connected in any way, you know, in proximity in a reading, that does indicate some sort of sense of rivalry within a relationship in your life. So I'm getting that, and you know, that I guess apply however it would see fit. Are you feeling rivalrous within a work relationship? Are you feeling rivalrous within your intimate relationship or even within a friendship? This sense of one-upping each other, this idea of just kind of not seeing eye to eye on things. But I'm getting very much kind of like a one-upping vibe, and there being some sort of mental and emotional games being played here with someone in your life. So, yeah, I'm getting that. Okay, and then we have the moon reverse. So you may want to avoid difficult emotions and confrontations right now, Pisces. So I'm getting that your needs are not being expressed or recognized right now, and there's some sort of trauma or drama that happened that's being ignored, and I'm getting again rather than being explored. So this is just telling me that you're going back to old ways of coping with the past, Pisces. This is telling me that you're feeling stuck in an old emotional pattern that's just going to keep cycling around until you give it attention. But secrets are coming out. Secrets are coming out right now. They could be your secrets. These could be things that you're realizing about yourself internally, that you're finally being made to look at and you don't like what you're seeing. So you're pushing those emotions away. That's going to be for some of you. For others of you, you're going to be realizing some secrets about a situation or relationship that you were in. Or this could be you sharing secrets that you've been holding with your partner. And honestly, I always feel like that's a good thing. People get scared by this card, but that's like cleaning out the closet and looking at everything that you have to deal with. And if you're ever going to move forward in anything, in any kind of healthy way, secrets will always sour that, you know? So I feel like I'm really getting very much every element of your life here. And I love that the tribe oracle is crowning your energy, because it's really asking you to look at your connections to other people, what's working, what's not working. And this is asking you to be dead honest with yourself. Dead ass honest with yourself right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, Pisces. I don't even feel a need to clarify any of these. I really don't, because these page cards, 2 page cards and the Knight card, these core cards, you're going to apply that energy. It's going to be different for everyone, but all the other messages are very clear to me here. So yeah, Pisces, I hope that was helpful in some way for you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week for the May reads. Take care. Bye bye.